All right, today we're going to talk about ways to represent a function, and we're going to represent in 4 different ways. We're going to represent them with ordered pairs, a table, a mapping diagram, and a graph. They are all the same function, they're just looked at in 4 different ways. So let's start off with ordered pairs, and ordered pairs are the x, y points. So let's start with -2, 1. Let's start with 0, 4. Let's start with 1, 7. And let's go 2, 10. All right, so let's look at those ordered pairs, and we're going to represent them in 4 different ways. Actually in 3, because we've already represented them as ordered pairs. So, second one is as a table, and it's not like the table we eat on, but a math table, and there are 2 ways to draw your table. You could draw a horizontal table, so let's do that first. And we'll split it in half, and let's think we need a 1 spot for the x and the y, and then we have 4 ordered pairs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully your table looks a little better than mine. We're going to put the x on top and the y on the bottom. And we're going to take the first ordered pair. The x is -2. The y is 1. We're going to take the second order pair. The x is 0. The y is 4. We're going to take the third order pair. X is 1. Y is 7. And we're going to take the last order pair, 2 and 10. That's how you represent it as a table. That is horizontal. Let's say we wanted to represent it vertically. Okay? Draw it vertically, split it down into 2 columns, make a spot for the x's, and then again we have 4 ordered pairs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add x and y, and then again put our values in. We know it's -2, 1, 0, 4, 1, 7, and 2, 10. Again, we're just taking our table and kind of shifting it so it looks up and down. All right, we're going to take our same ordered pairs and turn them into a mapping diagram. So this is something you probably haven't seen before. I'm going to have to kind of slide back and forth so we can refer to the other points. So in a mapping diagram, we're going to draw 2, like, what do you call them, like maybe ellipses and ovals. The first one is going to be the x values, and the second one is going to be the y values. I'm going to use some color here so you can kind of see. I'll go back and forth. So let's take all of our x values. Notice our x values are -2, 0, 1, and 2. And I'm going to put them in this mapping diagram. -2, 0, 1, and 2. So all my inputs, remember that word, or domain, is going to be here. So again, remember this is the domain, so I'll label this as the domain. Right, that's the domain. And let's look at our y values. +1, 4, 7, and 10. And let's add those in here. Oh, sorry, 1, 4, 7, 10. 1, 4, 7, 10. And remember, our y values are considered our range. And what we're going to do is we're going to map them to each other. So we map them by drawing arrows. In this case, refer our point. If we look at the first one, -2 is mapped to 1. So -2 is mapped to 1. So we draw an arrow. Look at the next one. 0 is mapped to 4 because of the ordered pair. So we're going to draw an arrow from 0 to 4. 1 is mapped to 7, and 2 is mapped to 10. So again, we'll draw arrows. And this is actually one of the nicer mapping diagrams. Notice the arrows go straight across. Sometimes you have arrows crisscross, okay? So it won't look as nice and neat and uniform as this. And you'll see that in some of the examples when you actually practice this concept. The last thing is to turn it into a graph. So we're going to take our order pairs, or using our mapping diagram, and turn them into a graph. So remember, this coordinate plane is the x, so I'll kind of label it there so it's easier to see. And this way is the y. So let's take our first order pair, -2, 1. So that's going to tell us to go left 2, up 1 to put a dot. Our next order pair is 0, it maps to 4. So 0 on the x, and up on the 4 on the y. 1, 7. So if you noticed, we're out of space. That's okay, we're just going to add more space. So this is something that we do in math. When our graph isn't big enough, we can kind of estimate and put it up higher. So 1, that would be 5, 6, and that would approximately be 7. So again, that's a good estimation tool that we can use. And finally, our last one is 2, 10. So we can go over 2, but then here's 7, 8, 9, and about there is going to be 10. So again, sometimes our graphs aren't big enough. We need to kind of do some extra estimation and get it in kind of in a line there. Not always aligned, but in this case, it is. So those are 4 ways to represent a function. You have your order pairs. Let's go back and have a look. We have our order pairs. We have our table. We have our mapping diagram, and we have a graph. So again, there are 4 ways to represent a function.